You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast,
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 328. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on, yes, still Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and hardcore casual himself, Roshan Warner at Roro.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello. Nice and green there.
Issues. Nice and green there. Yeah. For how long, we don't know. The weather is very strange.
Very strange. We also have, of course, our resident Embark Glazer and my fellow Spartan Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggin.
reporting for duty, sir, ready to glaze.
Sir, glaze on in your green grass that you can gallop in. I don't know. Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. Guys, we have some exciting housekeeping here today, and that is Donald Trump was in the area today speaking, and oh my god, that's so awesome. No, it's fucking horrible. Nobody wants to see that, man, and I fucking couldn't even tell you how angry it made me that he was that close to me. I threw that in here because Steve Downs has issued a stark comment towards the White House because they have recently included a bunch of video game clips and movie clips and all of this mix mashed together to try to, I guess, promote this war that Trump has created in Iran, and has included Master Chief in this, saying his iconic line of finishing this fight. Finishing this fight. That Donald Trump started. It has come to my attention that there is at least one propaganda video circulating that was either produced or at the very least endorsed by the White House that uses images of Master Chief and uses my voice to support the war in Iran, Steve Downs said. Let me make this crystal clear. I did not participate in, nor was I consulted, nor do I endorse the use of my voice in this video or the message it conveys. I demand that the producers of this disgusting and juvenile war porn remove my voice immediately. End quote. Thank you, Steve Downs.
Huge.
Yeah. Huge, and this kind of shit is fucking insane. We haven't ever had a president in the history of the country that has done anything close to this, and the fact that this shit keeps happening and nobody fucking opens their mouth and says something, these people continue to blindly support this fucking psycho, is insane to me. I don't understand how you could even think this is remotely okay or remotely think that this is something that's normal. It's not normal. Stop normalizing it if you're normalizing. For fuck's sakes, it's insane. And also, Pokemon Company has recently said they're suing them. Yu-Gi-Oh has said similar comments. They're just using whatever the fuck they feel like.
As well, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Insane. I saw that he recently endorsed Jake Paul for political office, so like I don't know how much lower the political climate in your country can fall, but it's getting like every time I think that we've hit like peak Black Mirror, then like he comes out and brings Jake Paul on stage and I'm like, oh wait, no, it can get worse. It can get worse, right?
Yep, that was at today's event. He said Jake Paul would be a great political person to run for an office. The same Jake Paul that him and his brother filmed dead bodies in Japan that they went into the forest that historically a lot of suicides happen and filmed dead bodies hanging from trees. Yeah, that's a great person. That's a great person, Trump. You're right. Fucking moron. Ugh.
Birds of a feather, man. Birds of a feather.
All right.
Oh man.
That is. I just needed that out. We're out
This
now.
week's events.
We're out now. The topic of the show this week, guys, is our next generation Xbox and Project Helix being teased. On top of that, of course, one and the same. So moving into that topic of the show here, jumping right in. Last week, at the end of the week, we got a tease from the official Xbox account that said the next generation of Xbox console, Project Helix, with a little, logo reveal of Project Helix. And then we also got a little blurb from Asha, of course, new CEO of Microsoft Gaming, saying, "Great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the codename for our next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at my first GDC next week," which is, of course, today. They held their event, and we'll get into that here in just a second. But before we get there, I also have comments here coming from Satya Nadella on the future of Xbox, essentially polling on the back of this announcement of the next generation console. Let's see. Nadella says, sorry. This was in reaction to Seamus Blackley making his comments and all of that, saying that Xbox is dying, all that crap. Anyways, Satya Nadella. Sorry, I was like stalling for time because I was trying to figure out where I was at here. Satya Nadella has countered his concern by saying Microsoft is long on gaming. As reported by Windows Central last week, Sharma and Nadella held an internal Q&A to discuss Microsoft's gaming strategy. And in it, Nadella said Microsoft will always invest in gaming. Phil, he's always talked to me about how gaming is the largest entertainment category. What is gaming in its most expansive form going forward? Nadella said. This doesn't mean we walk away from people that are doing today when we think about a AAA game on a console. The question is about where else we can go to extend that. For me, we're long on gaming. We'll continue to invest, and we'll always do so. It's up to this team to show an excellence in execution and creativity. Software always carries risk, but this is a software with lots of creation risk. It's way different. But yet, we have to be the best in class at it. So yeah, I guess if CEO of Microsoft, take his word with a grain of salt. However, I do, for now, believe what he's saying because of what we were talking about when we talked about this, a couple weeks ago or whenever we were talking about the Xbox stuff. In that, after the acquisition of Activision, God, that's a mouthful. I feel like that became a much bigger portion of their business that right now they have to, kind of be all in still on gaming. And, for at least in the short term, I think that is true. But
I mean, all of this sounds good. Let's just hope that there's no rug pull. Let's hope the rug remains under our feet.
Right. Okay. So that brings us to today, where they had their event at GDC. Tom Warren has some reporting that him and The Verge did live for this event. So I have some quotes from him here, and then we'll get to the official stuff that Microsoft put out today as well. This is from Tom Warren. Microsoft says you build next-gen Xbox games by building them for PC. My colleagues are in line for the Xbox GDC keynote, but look at what they spotted. It says next-gen game preservation and building for PC for next-gen consoles. We'll get a little bit more into that here in a little bit. Tom says Project Helix is designed to play your Xbox console and PC games, delivering high performance and providing the ultimate player-first experience. Project Helix is powered by a custom AMD-based SoC, and it's co-designed for the next generation of DirectX. That comes directly a quote from Jason Ronald, who is the head of the Xbox hardware team. And then Tom also posted here, Microsoft's Xbox mode is coming to every Windows 11 PC next month. It's no longer called Xbox Full Screen Experience. It's just called Xbox Mode now. And then lastly, for Tom Warren's portion of this that he kind of consolidated for us, he says, as part of our 25th anniversary later this year, the game preservation team will release some iconic games from the past that are now going to be playable in entirely new ways, says Jason Ronald. So, all that being said, I will get your reactions to that in just 1 second. I'm just going to go over these official details from Xbox, and then we can talk about all of this. Microsoft's next-gen Xbox Project Helix details it has a next-generation version of AMD's FSR upscaling technology, which I think we expected, their AI upscaling. It has a custom AMD chip with an order of magnitude increase in ray tracing performance. They will be shipping alpha versions of Project Helix to developers in 2027. All of those details, and then Microsoft puts out their blog post detailing much of the same things that we just went over with Tom Warren. But there were a couple of things that were added here that I just wanted to point out here. One paragraph in particular, Xbox has an incredible lineup of games this year, from the return of iconic first-party franchises like Halo and Gears of War to major titles from our partners across the globe, alongside bold creativity from independent developers like Beethoven and Dinosaurs Mixtape or Crimson Desert from Pearl Abyss. And then at the end, they talked about the next 25 years of Xbox and the next generation and all of that. But everything else largely the same. Interesting that they basically confirmed Gears of War, Gears E-Day is coming out this year, because that hasn't been confirmed yet. So that is very interesting. But in terms of totality, like the backwards compatibility comment, I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts on like what do we think that could be, that they're doing something new with backwards compatibility to like bring older games back to life in a new way. What the hell does that mean?
I have an idea. I have a theory.
Okay.
I think somehow these games are going to be playable on PC and therefore the next Xbox as well. That's the rumor I've seen kicking around, and I think that makes the most sense in terms of like what does it mean to play them in a new way. Obviously, it could mean that like maybe they're going back to the original Xbox generation and giving those things like frame boost or like upscaling, like native upscaling. That could totally be a thing too as well, especially using like FSR technology. But I'm leaning towards that. And maybe it's both. Maybe it's that, and I think it's just like you're gonna be able to play these games on PC through the Xbox, whatever they end up calling it, the Xbox mode or window or whatever. So like things like Halo or Halo 2, you know, other games that may have been locked to console and now are going to be coming to PC and will be backwards compatible and will have, you know, all the modern sort of optimization that those games missed out on. That's what my hunch is. I obviously could be totally wrong. I don't know if you had a different read on it.
I have a crazy idea, but I don't know if Ro wants to throw anything in.
I agree with what Gage is saying. I feel like that makes sense. My only addition to it would be like maybe this might be a bit difficult, and I know servers are expensive and all that stuff, but like being able to play older multiplayer games, like turning on those servers or having like some like turning back online play for certain games or just bringing
That'd be
back
sick.
certain modes. Maybe not like the whole like not the whole game is back online, but maybe like certain maps or certain modes from
Right.
games that they're bringing back on backwards compatibility. And there's like, oh, like this week we're doing Nuketown on Call of Duty, and you could play with your friends or you could play online and stuff like that. So that could be a cool new way to, relive the old days of Xbox 360 and whatever else we played back in high school.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd be down for that and get Halo 2 back online. That'd be cool. Be cool. My idea is a little it's kind of similar to one of your points, Gage, but it's like I think for them to make this comment, it feels like it's something much bigger than just like, oh hey, you can play these on Windows now, because especially since that's been like rumored for a long time and feels like we're already going to that. And it definitely could be that. However, I was thinking something even bigger, like kind of re-looking at backwards compatibility as a whole. And, obviously AI is big right now. If there was some tool or some way that they created something that could analyze your backwards compatible games that you own and up-res them and like make them actually look good and not like AI slop, like obviously, and this is obviously not like, it's not generating new stuff, it's just like taking what's already there and like making it better is what I'm thinking in my head. Like,
Speaking of like an AI powered automatic remastering system, where when you play a game, it's like now that would be interesting. I could see a lot of backlash from developers being like, when it comes to art style and stuff like that. But it is an interesting idea, and I could see something like that happening, for better or for worse. That is an interesting idea.
And I don't mean like, because like there's always like two different kinds of a remaster, or I wouldn't even call it a remaster. I would be like, it's gonna take what's originally there and just make the textures higher resolution, essentially. Like it's not gonna change the art style, you know what I mean? Like, in the sense that Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary was a completely different art style than Halo CE. Right. I'm thinking
talking almost like like on the line between remaster and like upscaling, kind of, where it's just
yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, just making those textures modernized to make it look like, it came out in 2026, but it's like it's still the original art, if that makes sense.
That would be really interesting. That would be a very interesting use of AI, and I could see that being a thing as well.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would be down for that. Like, and especially like so many times we go back and play games that were like, man, this was the shit back then, and then you play it and you're like, oh fuck, this thing is not aged well.
Right.
So yeah, we got details of Helix. So like, I guess, with Gears of War being confirmed, I guess, with them saying Gears is coming back this year. I don't know when this console's coming out, especially with development kits shipping next year. Does that mean they're not coming until 2028 to retail? And like, does this seem like really soon to be talking about next gen hardware if it's not coming out until 2028? Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
I wonder if their internal, like, I wonder if their end date has not been pushed back so much as these other milestones have. Like, I wonder if they're still shooting for holiday 2027, and they've taken a brunt of the hit from manufacturing on stuff like dev kits. And like I don't know, it's interesting because like they are ramping up and talking about it as if we are only like a year and a half away, but with everything going on in the industry, everybody's assuming that it's 2028 or later. I don't know. I wonder if internally they're still hoping that they can hit the holiday 2027 timeline. Usually dev kits you want in the hands of developers like as early as possible, but again, if they are planning on having multiple storefronts at launch, then that can be the system seller, right? Instead of having a huge library of multiple launch titles, you can have one or two really big things ready to go, like a new Forza or a new maybe not new Forza actually, but a couple of big, pretty to look at games, and then your real system seller is like, oh, by the way, you buy our console, and also you have access to all these storefronts. I wouldn't be surprised if that's maybe the strategy that they're looking at.
It may be too early to be talking about it, but I remember, this year in general, I feel like Xbox has been having like a hot streak of like bad headlines in the news where just like week after week, I don't remember all the stories, but I remember like there was like a good week where just like every day it was a bad Xbox story. And I just feel like times were really uncertain for the future of Xbox. So I think even if it is early, I feel like they kind of want to get ahead of any uncertainty that fans may have about the system, because we had a lot of questions during this time. Is Xbox going to do another console? What are they going to do? And I think they just had to probably answer some questions with everything that was going on, even if it is a little early, just to like calm some nerves for the Xbox fans and people who are kind of on the fence. But I definitely agree with what Gage is saying as well.
Well, hold on, because now I agree with what Ro just said, and I have another point to that, which is that Dan, you and I talked about how I think it was an episode that you and I were on, or I should say I was on with you, where we were talking about how internally the "This is an Xbox" campaign did not go over well with the with some of the executives and the higher ups in the Xbox team. This also could be, to Ro's point, this is less about information timed with the release of the next Xbox and getting out and trying to undo some perceived damage with that campaign, because that campaign was just is now just finishing. So maybe it has less to do with the timing of the release of the next Xbox and more about like trying to band-aid some of this perceived brand damage.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense, because they have started to kind of issue in their own new marketing strategy. I'm trying to remember what I saw because I can't find it now. Frick. Did anyone see that? The new tagline?
Oh,
I've not.
On it. I thought I saved it, but here we go. So they have new marketing slogans. One is "Build for what's next," and the other one is "The future of Xbox starts now." So they're kind of like shifting, I guess, to focus on the next generation, I guess, already. So it also, circling back real quick to the dev kit thing, while you were talking, Gage, I looked this up because I wasn't sure. Xbox Series S and X development kits were sent out to developers in early 2020. And of course, those consoles came out in fall 2020. So you may not be off saying that, they come, if they ship them early 2027, that they launch in fall 2027. That would totally be feasible, and exactly what they did for Series X. So that makes sense.
Could be a thing. I also want to circle back to the console details real quick before we move off of topic of the show.
Yes.
I have been a frame gen hater, obviously, mostly probably off the podcast, like in private, but also maybe probably on there. But what is interesting about frame gen and where I'm starting to see the vision a little bit is that the biggest thing with consoles and them getting outdated is that obviously it's a balancing act between cost and performance. And I'm seeing the vision, the possible vision here, where if the new generation of consoles, they might be able to make them last longer if they just go from a hardware standpoint. They adjust the slider so they put a lot more into the processor kind of aspect of things, and then they can take some resources saved with GPU and use a lot of their AI sort of upscaling to then make these consoles be able to play like really complex games and PC games, and then have graphical fidelity be sort of kept up and assisted with FSR. So I was just thinking about it as we were reading that, and I think that there some good may come of this this frame gen sort of like craze gold rush that we're in. Especially if you're now opening the door to like, oh yeah, your Xbox is supposed to run these PC exclusive RTS games with hundreds of thousands of units on screen. There is like a vision that I'm starting to see here with the frame gen and all that stuff. So that could be kind of huge for people that want to get 5, 6, 7, 8 years out of their next Xbox.
Yeah, and like to your point as well, the frame gen stuff, like the PS5 Pro is already showing, because it has its own version of AMD's upscaling tech. They made their own proprietary one,
PSSR or something like that.
Yes, but you're already seeing that it has improved significantly. They released 2.0 when we just talked about that last month, which is supposed to improve things significantly. So stuff like that could happen in the future on these new consoles. Like obviously that stuff's constantly improving, so we may get another iteration of this down the line that would make it even better than what it is when it comes out as well, to keep pushing that needle, making the console last longer, and have more value out of it, especially if it's going to be more expensive.
I think we're onto something. I think we're cooking.
We're cooking. I forgot to move things into news of the week. Is there anything you guys specifically want to talk about for news of the week that I have down here in the quick bites? I'll talk about the street meets while you guys think about that. The street meets here. Sony is reportedly testing dynamic pricing for users on the PlayStation Store. This is kind of interesting. I don't know. This isn't increases, and I think Microsoft already announced that this was a thing on the Xbox Store a long time ago, where essentially they feed users different discounts and offers depending on your content that you consume. So, I may get a discount for, let's just give an example, Marathon, but you and Ro may not see that discount for Marathon. You may see a discount for Arc Raiders or something else. I don't know. Which I don't love this idea, because it's like, in a world where oftentimes we're buying games based on what our friends are playing, especially if it's a multiplayer game. I mean, even single player games though. It sucks, because you could be given a great deal for a game, and then you play it and you're like, this is awesome, like you should experience this too, I want to play it with you, and then they're like, oh, mine's full price, I don't want to pay that much for it. And it's like, that's not a great experience for the end user, and arguably I don't think that's a great experience for spreading more games that people otherwise may not have gotten their eyeballs on.
Right. I also have a very pessimistic outview on this thing. This is something I brought up before, and usually I'll bring this up when we talk about games. Pre-order now and play the game 5 days early. As soon as there's two different prices for customers, I actually disagree that it's a price reduction. It just means that it's more expensive for everybody who doesn't have the discount. It's totally like you either see it one way or you see it the other. So I'm not saying objectively that I'm right and you're wrong, but I do not see it as a selective discount. I see it as okay, you should just be putting that on sale across the Xbox Store. And then my second point is just, I totally agree. And I was thinking it as you were saying it, which is that this is going to suck for groups of friends and community gaming. It's going to be really detrimental to that. So I don't like this on multiple fronts. And but you just brought up the great reason where it's maybe you find some game and you're like, oh, Gage, check this out. It's only X amount of dollars, and I go look at it and I'm like, wow, this is even more expensive than the Canadian to American conversion. There must be something else going on here.
Not good.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you guys. I think it's silly.
Yep.
What are we doing? What are we doing out here?
Late stage capitalism is what we're doing.
Late stage capitalism. All right. Is there anything you guys want to move up, or do you just want to run through the quick bites here?
I mean, we could just run through the quick bites, and if somebody has something, we just
fair point.
Rally off of it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. With that being said, I have a lot of links here for a marathon. I'm just realizing I should not have done this to myself. How's a
8
little
links?
Yeah, that was a little crazy. A little marathon check-in here. How's marathon doing right now? I have a few things here linked. The top Steam sellers right now, I thought was interesting. It's at number 8 right now. It moved up 1 spot from last week. Of course, the game launched a week ago. So it has moved up a little bit. Number 8, not too bad. Not too bad for the first week or first couple weeks that it's out. Looking at the Steam charts, we've got all-time peak was set 6 days ago, which would have been launch day, at 88,337 on Steam. 24-hour peak right now is at 62,495. It'll be interesting to see how this number fluctuates over the next few months. I have comments about the game itself that I'll save for what you got for me, but I want to see how much staying power Marathon's going to have. There's also some updates that the Marathon dev team put out. There was one that they put out pretty quickly, which increased the distance objective nav points to appear from 10 meters to 20 meters. Increased the number of med cabinets and munitions crates that spawn in perimeter, because it got a little fucking crazy on there with feeling like you didn't have enough resources. They increased the amount of starting ammo in Meta, Cyber Acme, and Arachne free sponsored kits. And then there's a bunch of updates that went live today, that I encourage you to check out if you're interested in Marathon. A lot of weapon balancing already. They balanced the Rook, which is the solo shell that you can use to kind of go in and get loot from your like solo runs if you want to have a better experience with solos. They adjusted UESC enemies' health and shield, which very much needed because it was a little insane once again. And a few other things, so I'm not going to go through all of them. There's a lot there. And then also there was the news that Bungie had requested that critics delay their Marathon reviews, which was to wait for the community to discover the secret live service content that's based around the Cryo Archive raid, which includes the community mission and global progression that is required to unlock Cryo Archive, which is, of course, everyone trying to unlock the ability to travel into space to be able to get to the Cryo Archive on the ship Marathon, which I find really, really cool. I like this kind of stuff where it's like, it feels like the game is alive. It's kind of cool. And I'm glad to see that reviewers are actually like, yeah, let's see this out. This is part of the game. This is the experience. And yeah, there's been a lot of movement on that as people have found a link by splicing together numbers to get an IP address, which directed to a link where it has literal live cams of the new map of the Cryo Archive that we're going to unlock once these are all unlocked. So very, very interesting. I like this cryptic kind of stuff, and they've done a good job with that in their marketing, and now it seems to continue into the game as well, which is very cool. Okay. Then we move back into some news, and it's some news. Some news. Call of Duty's co-founder says Activision put pressure on them to make a game about Iran invading Israel. He said that they, quote, put very awkward pressure on them, which, of course, very timely for this to be happening now. And it's kind of an odd thing for Activision to be clamoring for this kind of thing. I don't know. Like, it feels like, I don't know. It feels like you're trying to predict the future, like, and not will it into existence, but like it doesn't feel good just to see that being pitched by Activision.
Right. Did this? I just want to check the article just so I can, for my own. Was this recent, or was this them coming forward about this happening in the past?
This was in the past. Yeah, this was
okay.
Not,
Okay.
Yeah. This was not recent. It just happened probably because. Probably I should have read the context. Probably because Call of Duty gameplay footage was used in that same White House video that we were talking about at the top of the show with Steve Downs' voice being used. So it was probably because of that this news came out. Because he wrote about it. So yeah.
Weird, and it also probably not going to help adding fuel to some like online conspiracy theories for sure. Definitely not a good look for Activision.
At all. Also not a good look for NetEase as Yakuza creator Toshiura Nagashi. Gosh damn it, I can't read. Ashihiro Nagashi. Thank you, Daniel. You did it. His studio may be facing closure after NetEase has apparently pulled funding for its debut title, Gang of Dragon, which looks very similar to Yakuza from that trailer that we got. Kind of disappointing to see this being pulled so deep into development, because we got a decent look at it at the Game Awards.
Quite a shame. They also pulled funding on that was Tencent for High Guard, but
yes,
NetEase did something else recently. I feel like I don't remember what.
I mean, the world's not turning if these piece of shit companies aren't doing something bad.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just getting Tencent and NetEase mixed up, but I could have sworn that NetEase pulled funding on another game as well, but I think I may be mistaken. Either way, sucks.
Not
sucks
good.
Bad. Yeah.
You know what else sucks bad, bro? EA is laying off an undisclosed number of staff from its Battlefield teams after being the number one selling game of 2025. What? An EA spokesperson told IGN, "We've made select changes within our Battlefield organization to better align our teams around what matters most to our community." Okay. Battlefield remains one of our biggest priorities, and we're continuing to invest in the franchise, guided by player feedback and insights from Battlefield Labs. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, that comment is fucking completely corporate speak, saying that it's better aligned with what matters to our community. Like, I'm pretty sure the community probably wants developers to have their jobs and making cool content, you know? I don't.
No, Dan, speaking on behalf of the community, we'd actually like less content and less Battlefield going forward.
Oh my goodness.
Insane.
Yeah, please get rid of the ones that delivered the best one in a really long time. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah. And
God.
That's terrible. And fuck. Not a good taste if you're a Battlefield developer and you're in your mouth saying this and seeing that your game is number one in 2025. Okay. Resident Evil Requiem is getting a major story expansion, a mini game, and a photo mode. And Dan did not click on this link because Dan's not getting anything spoiled if there's anything in there to spoil. So that is all I know about this, and that's all I'm going to know about this until maybe Thursday if I can finish Resident Evil Requiem tomorrow. Which may happen.
Huge.
Okay. Gage, don't get our hopes up again, but my hopes are up again. Fallout 3 Remastered is once again getting traction with a toy listing online. Someone discovered a newly posted McFarlane Toys list that referenced the game and is fueling all of our speculation. Apparently, the site that it came from, too, is historically like very accurate with toys that get announced before games get announced. It's like a supplier or something, so it's not like they're out there like doing leaks. It's just like they're giving their people a heads up like this is on the way. So seems like Fallout 3 Remastered definitely coming, maybe this year.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'm itching to get back into it.
Me too. All right, then the last quick bite here. Mega Man's voice actor will not return for Dual Override. In response, actors union SAG-AFTRA has issued a do not work order against the upcoming Mega Man Dual Override, claiming the Japanese company had failed to initiate the signatory process necessary to hire unionized actors. Please be advised that the producer of the game production entitled Mega Man Dual Override has failed to initiate the process, the union wrote. As such, members are hereby instructed to withhold any acting services or performance of any covered work for this production until further notice. Yeah, that's not good. Capcom would only permit him to return without the protections of a union contract, which is where the issue came into play. Yeah, that's terrible. And like, if you have an actor that's already been in the role, and why are you making this difficult, Capcom? Like, Capcom's on this major resurgence, doing amazing stuff the last decade plus. Like, don't do this, Capcom.
The sad part is that they will faster rehire or look for somebody else than
That's true.
do the cool thing.
That is unfortunately true.
Unfortunately.
All right. That is our quick bites, lads. Let's jump into our fantasy critic check-in. League history here. No new updates this week. Nothing since Christian picked up Marathon a few weeks ago, which we'll see how that's going to pan out. I don't think that there's any reviews up yet. Oh, there is. Interesting. Okay, so some people did post their reviews before all of the content was out. Currently there's 11 critic reviews in here right now, which just by glancing at it here doesn't look like any major outlets. So looks like kind of just some lower tier outlets that I don't even know most of them.
Damn.
Oh, sorry. That wasn't a dig. I wasn't trying to dig at them. I was just...
We'll say lesser known outlets.
Lesser known, thank you. Yes, no IGN's, Game Informers, nothing like that in this list that I see. So, but currently, as it stands, Marathon is sitting at a 75, giving Christian 5 points. Be interesting to see how that number changes. I do think, like... I understand, like, if a game is not finished and the developer saying, hey, give us a few more weeks before you put that review out. But, like, this was purposefully made this way, like, where the content was rolling out over a certain amount of time and is supposed to be, like, engaging with the community. Like, personally, I feel like you should wait for that to kind of play out. But
here's why I disagree, and it's for me, it's a simpler reason of when are they asking for money?
that's fair.
Right? They're asking for you to part with your hard-earned money, and then I think that means the ball. I think it's cool that some reviewers are waiting on their request, but I think as a consumer, you are entitled to critique and rate the game at the point in which you are asked for your money.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not saying it shouldn't be critiqued. I just think like official reviews from like outlets, in my opinion, like that this game was made to be rolled out this way because they told you that it was going to be rolled out this way. Like, and it's not like it's like over like 6 months. They're not saying like, hey, hold on 6 months for our review. Like, we've got 6 months of content on the way. Like, this is kind of like more so like community engagement to like get people excited to find out how to unlock these things. And like, there's, Easter eggs that you have to find along the way on the maps. Like, people have to physically go on the maps and find how to unlock these things to continue the progression to getting the unlock. Like, that kind of stuff to me is what makes Marathon so unique and interesting, is that wonder, or that like you're sitting in the back of your head like, what is this going to do? Like, what am I going to see? Like, that's to me exciting, and like that's part of the game, in my opinion. Like, we've never seen a game do this before. For as much as we want to laugh at Bungie making these grand claims of past, like with Destiny saying it's a brand new genre and all of this, like Destiny did change a lot of things for like an MMO. Yes, it is basically an MMO, but like it wasn't your traditional MMO. And like
sure.
Marathon, in the same example here, like I feel like they're doing a lot of things that a lot of developers years from now will look back on and be like, I want to do some of that kind of stuff in our games to make things more engaging with the player as you're going through, even the first month of launch, like unlock other things to see how this whole thing unfolds. Like, in my opinion, that's a whole new way of thinking about how you're unlocking content. Like Stella Montis, even like for Arc Raiders, you had a project for that where you had to put in, the whole community had to put in items to work on the project to unlock Stella Montis. And like, in my opinion, I think that kind of stuff is interesting and adds to the intrigue and excitement to continue playing the game, and is like part of the game. Like, and you're not seeing a whole map essentially that is part of the game. It's just, it's not unlocked yet because they want you to go through this progression. I don't know. It is interesting. Yes, you're right, Gage. They are taking your money, and I think it's fair to criticize them. I just or give critiques. I just feel like for official reviews, to me, it doesn't feel quite correct to release a full review. Like, review in progress. Why can't it be a review in progress? You know what I mean?
Sure. Right. And this is a thing where it's like, I am of two minds about it, right? Where it's like you have the artist and the creative side of me, which is like, I absolutely love the idea of having things that you have to work towards, and you're unlocking things in the game that, instead of just giving you everything at once. Like, that part of my brain does dig that, and like I could see myself, if I made a game like that one day, being on that side of things, being like, yeah, I really want people to experience it in this way that we have planned out. And then, but separate from that is like the ethics of it, which is like a separate issue. So like, I'm not entirely one way or the other. I do see both sides, and I hear what you're saying, and it does sound cool. And the Stella Montis was a great comparison. But I guess the conversation isn't really all that heated, like in terms of online. Like, I don't really see a lot of people, hashtag screw Bungie for withholding or asking developer or reviewers to XYZ. Like it is
Right.
pretty tame. So I there's no real use getting worked up about it. I just see both sides of it is all. But I agree with you. It is an interesting concept, and like hopefully it works for like people that are in that game right now. Hopefully they get the desired outcome of withholding this content.
Absolutely. I thought about something and then I forgot.
Nope.
Oh well, it's gone. It came and gone. Okay. I feel like something came out this week. Pro, was it on your? No.
Oh, for Fantasy Critic?
Okay, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Stories 3. That was Gage's
That's
team.
good.
Yeah. Okay, so Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection Gauge comes out on Friday, but we already have reviews in, and it is sitting at an 85 on OpenCritic, giving you 15 points. 15
I told you what was going to
points.
happen this year. I told you what was going to happen.
God damn it.
Your first three games release, you're looking good so far. We'll see if you can keep the pace.
You're goddamn right.
So the standings as of now, Christian is in last place with 1 game released and 5 points. Of course, that's marathon, as we were just discussing. That may change. It may go up or down. So right now, 5 points with a little asterisk there for Christian. 1 game. Then we move to second to last place right now, which is Dan's team, Halo is Evolved, sitting at 19 points with 1 game released as well. And then we move to second place, which is now Roshan, who has 4 games released. He has 36 points. You have the most games, Ro, and you're only in second place now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So scary.
No. And that leaves Gage sitting on March 11th, 2026 right now, sitting in first place with 47 points. He has 3 games released on a really good pace, averaging 15.5 points per game. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I had to let you guys get a couple of wins under your belts to finally show my true prowess.
Oh, God.
Here on round 4 of Fantasy League.
Here we go. It kind of depresses me because Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection is literally the type of game I would have picked up in the past, and I just didn't. And I should.
I'm surprised you didn't. I went full Dan mode this time. I started Googling fucking developers and doing spreadsheets.
I know.
Is there a F1 manager game this year that you're gonna pick up?
That would I need that to complete the Dan trifecta, absolutely.
Whoa, hang on. Who picked up fucking Football Manager the 1 year it got delayed? The only year Football Manager's ever been delayed, Gage picked it up.
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Kirik says Gage has the gift for now.
Absolutely. You're so right, Kirik. You're so right.
We'll see how long that holds. Yeah, so the rest of this month, that is it. We don't have anything else for the month of March. Looking ahead a little bit into April, I'm not going to, divulge everything we got coming down the pipeline, but we do have Replaced coming on April 14th. Then we have Tomodachi Life coming on April 16th. Replaced is my game, and Tomodachi Life is Ro's game. So those are coming. More to come in April as well. We'll talk more about that as we get into April.
And maybe there will be a March game. Maybe someone picks up Crimson Desert. There's only one last chance, I think. Will anybody do it?
I don't know about that. Is anybody going to pick that up? Actually, no. I really want Crimson Desert. Don't take it from me. Yeah. I'm going to bid $30 on it, guys.
A lot of money.
I'm actually surprised you're not bidding on one of these games, bro. That's
What
coming
is?
out. It's coming
Oh.
out in a couple weeks.
What could it be?
I guess we'll see. There's still
I guess I
time.
forgot about it.
There's still time to stop
still
the key
time.
from turning.
Oh,
All right. That's our fantasy. Oh, you know now?
I got it.
Okay.
I know now. Yeah.
Yeah. That is our fantasy critic check-in. Let us move into what you got for me, Dan. What you got for me? Yes, Dan, I have good news. I have been playing the shit out of Resident Evil Requiem the last few days, and I am cranking along, and this might be the best Resident Evil since Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
I think this is my favorite Resident Evil since Resident Evil 4. This game is so fucking good. I haven't finished it yet, so maybe by the end of it I'll be like, man, this may have surpassed Resident Evil 4. We'll see. I'm not there yet, but I love how every single boss encounter in this game feels completely unique. Like every single boss encounter like has completely different ways that you go about it because they fight very differently from one another. Obviously I don't want to go into the boss details because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played, but like there's so much unique flavor in every one of these bosses. It's insane and I love it. And like each one is scary for its own reasons. Like there's one boss in particular, and I'm just going to keep it vague, where I was scared shitless because this boss is afraid of lights, and I had lights on in the area I was in, and I was doing the Dan thing of me like kind of like coercing it. I was like standing at the door where it's in the darkness, trying to coerce it a little bit.
You were rage baiting it. You were rage baiting the AI.
I was, and I was literally talking out loud to it. I was like, yeah, you can't get me in here. Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to fucking do? And what does it do? It fucking comes into after it burned itself, it came back into the light and walked into the room that it's not supposed to be in and climbed up in its thing where it climbs out of the map. But let me just tell you, when I'm standing in front of that door and it starts coming out into the room at me, I fucking screamed. That was insane. I loved that so much. It was so unexpected. And like Gage, I know we talked about the difference between first person and third person for Grace specifically.
You have to admit that would have been even scarier in first person.
No, that's what I'm
coming at you.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like the camera view that they chose for third person for Grace specifically is so perfect that it's just as scary as if it was in first person for me. Maybe not for other people, but for me, it's just as scary. Like the camera is literally sitting right on her shoulder. Like it's not like, God of War where your character's way out here and you're sitting way back. You're like right on her shoulder. So like I still fucking got freaked the fuck out on all of the scare moments in that game. And I love it so much. And I love that they give the player the option. Like I love that, people who want to play her as Grace in first person have that option, or people who want to play as Leon in first person have that option, and like vice versa. Like I think that's, in my opinion, one of the strengths of this game as well is giving players options, but still making the options really good options. Like it would be one thing if they said, oh yeah, we're just going to do third person for both. And, both Leon and Grace have the same third person camera, but they don't, because Leon's camera is much further back than Grace's camera is. Grace's camera is right up on her. Like, I love the attention to detail in this game. And, yeah, it's very much Resident Evil through and through. And I fucking love it. It's so good. And Gage, you talked about it a little bit as well. Like it blends the action of Resident Evil 4 so perfectly with the more modern Resident Evil games. It's so good. So good.
I've seen some enemy encounters like you were mentioning, Dan.
Yes.
Have been pretty crazy. Where like there was like they were like in a kitchen. I think Grace was in like a kitchen in the hotel.
Yes.
And there's like these carts that she had to push, and the player was like behind one about to push it, but then the enemy was just like pushed it at her and like climbed over. It's like it's just things that make sense like in a real life situation, which you don't expect the AI to think like like a real person. It's like, oh shit, that why didn't I think you would do that? Like that makes sense. Of course you would push it at me, but it's just something that you don't expect from video game enemies. But I guess we should. This is the future now. Like, it's getting really spooky.
Yes, it is. Oh, it's so good. And this isn't a spoiler because it was in the trailers. Leon going back to the RPD was fucking awesome. That's all I'll say about that.
Huge moment.
That was
Huge
so
moment.
cool. All right. And then I also have played a little bit of Marathon. I haven't like played a shitload, but I've played probably 7 or 8 runs of Marathon, full retail release. And I did that kind of in between Resident Evil Requiem. One night when I was in a good stopping point of Requiem, I loaded up Marathon. And Marathon it's so interesting to me because when we played that tech test last year, I was very concerned about Marathon and like where it was going to be at. And then played in the server slam and I was like, wow, this is significantly better than the alpha. And then I'm playing retail Marathon and something is just clicking for me now with Marathon where number one, I think that the server slam was still on an older build of Marathon because this game feels so much better than what that felt like. And visually, it looks way better. Like, the environments look great. I know, Gage, you aren't as big on the art style, but personally, I love the, like, neon art style that Marathon has. I just feel like it pops and is, like, very different than any other first-person shooter that we get out there. Besides, I would say maybe the finals. I think the finals is a very vibrant world. I like that. And it's so much more intense playing Marathon, but it's not intense like, oh my god, I fucking hate this game if I lose, or, you know, intense as in like, I have all the stakes in the world. Like, I feel like every time, and again, this could just be me playing super early on and I don't have anything really to lose, but like, I'm going in just looking for players, like ready to hunt down some players. And like, it's just so much fun to encounter players and be able to kill players in this world and have that experience of taking in these other things that are happening in the world, like these diaries that you're finding, or, you know, in-game lore that we're finding, or in-game things that are unlocking other things, like, for instance, the current objective to unlock the map on the Marathon ship. They're just so interesting to me. The one thing I will say is Marathon is fucking difficult. Like, the AI is fucking relentless. Like, the AI does not just like give up on you. If you encounter an AI and then like run away, that AI is gonna keep fucking hunting you down. Like, that thing is relentless, and they are strong. They have a lot of health, a lot of shields. I know they just with their update today, they just lowered that a little bit, but with the amount of health and shields specifically that they had, especially the higher level enemies, it was very difficult, like, for me to play against the UESC. There was one moment that I was playing in one of my raids where I had a whole bunch of goop because I had killed 3 players in this run, and I was so concerned because I had 1:30 left on the clock. I was headed for an exfil, and between me and the exfil, there was 3 high-level enemies with like these big-ass shields. And I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna? I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get past them. So I turn around and I'm like, I'll just go around them. I turn around and go back the other way. Well, as I'm going the other way, I realize, I look at the map and I'm like, there's no way for me to get to that extract from this way that I'm going without going all the way around the map. And I don't have time to do that. So I immediately turn around, go back where those 3 enemies are, and I start fucking shooting them. I try to lure them into a hallway, and then I just sprint for the fucking extract, call the extract, and then I'm hiding like from them until the extract gets there. It was so intense, but it was so much fun because like I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying Marathon a lot more than what I thought when we played the technical test last year. I've been very excited for Marathon since Bungie announced it. But that technical test made me worry a little bit for it. But now I think I'm a little bit higher on it now than maybe some people are. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much legs this game can have. But so far, I am enjoying myself. Sorry to take so long on my what you got for me, but that's all I got. Ro, what you got?
Well, I'll be short. I got nothing. I got nothing. I watched my girlfriend play Pocopia for a bit though. And she seems to be enjoying it. Everybody seems to be enjoying that game. That game is doing really, really well. I have not succumb to FOMO just yet. We'll see how long I last. I think I can sit this one out. But we'll see. We'll see. A lot of people really like this game. It's the highest rated Pokemon game, for crying out loud, which is crazy. But yeah, she's having a good time with it. I don't have that much to report on it because I played it, but like very, very, very little. But yeah, it seems like a good game. Hopefully I can get around to Karen soon, that climbing game that I bought a couple weeks ago. But yeah, nothing yet.
Pocopia, which temporarily went up $10 in price on Amazon. Amazon was trying to fucking scam people. It's like, what the?
Dynamic pricing.
Oh my god, yeah. So many people want it. Increase the price. Kirik said, still not going to play it only because I want to play Crimson Desert.
Nice.
We found the Crimson Desert fan.
Found the Crimson Desert fan.
I genuinely hope that game is.
Me too. I'm looking forward to what Kirik has to say about it when it does come out because I am definitely intrigued.
For sure.
Yeah.
Gage, what you got for me?
I don't even know if because I was gone last week. I don't even know if I mentioned that I started playing Resident Evil Requiem, but I have rolled credits on Resident Evil Requiem.
Whoa.
And I think I'm with you, Dan, in that this is probably my favorite Resident Evil game since Resident Evil 4. I should say maybe it's the best one since. I still have a soft spot for Resident Evil 2 Remake. I think that's probably going to remain my favorite. But this game is really incredible, and there's just something about. I was talking to one of my friends about this, and there's just something so charming and like almost comfy about a Resident Evil game, even though it is a horror property. It's and maybe it's just because I'm fresh out of playing Silent Hill 2, which is a very, while the same genre and has a lot of the same gameplay loops, it's a very sort of like dreadful, mature, and like just overbearing and haunting. There's something fun and charming and lighthearted about Resident Evil games, and they're just so comfy when you're playing them. I really love what Capcom did in this. As you mentioned before, we were talking off air about this. This game kind of perfectly replicates both Resident Evil 4 and like the Resident Evil 7 style of Resident Evil games. And it totally works. I'm so glad that they ended up doing their new protagonist. And Grace is such a fun sort of like mirror to Leon. where they're like at complete opposite ends of their experience in what they're dealing with, and bouncing back and forth between them was very fun. I think I enjoyed a lot of Grace's sections more, and I don't know if that's just because I find that style of Resident Evil more fun to play. Like, I love the sort of doubling back and getting resources and solving puzzles and unlocking new areas and all that stuff, where it almost feels like a dungeon crawler, kind of like a really slow paced dungeon crawler. So all of Grace's sort of hospital or hospice, whatever you want to call it, that whole building, I really love that stuff. And that stuff, I actually think, surprisingly, even though I think the game overall is fantastic, it's like the Leon parts that kind of drag the whole thing down for me just slightly. I think I might actually really like be head over heels like in love with. I kind of already am. I don't even really know what I'm saying. Like, I just think I would love it even more if the game was more of Grace's stuff, because I really think that level design and the art style and all that stuff is just, it's so good. I love it. Yeah, so world credits on that. It's great. I'm probably gonna replay that, I think, and try and do the harder difficulties because I had such a good time playing it the first time. And then besides that, just more Arc Raiders, which it's crazy. Every time I log into that game and I see I'm at like 560 hours played, and it's like I still log in and I still play with like mostly the same amount of fun that I was having on like hour 10 or hour 20, which is just not normal for most games. So I gotta shout it out. I gotta continue to glaze. And then played a little bit more of Raven's Watch too. I have a certain group of people that I'm trying to play that with, so I'm not able to play as much of it as I'd like to. But once again, Raven's Watch, very, very fun game. And I definitely want to be playing more of that too. So we'll see what we get up to.
Do you remember what your final time was for Requiem?
I want to say 11 and a half hours.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I feel like, am I playing this game as a grandma? Because I've asked a couple of people and they've said about the same of what you're saying. And I'm at 12 hours and like 20 minutes, I think, is what I saw yesterday on the Xbox dashboard. And I still have the whole last area to play.
Yeah, how many hours of rage baiting the AI enemies have you spent?
Well, I mean, part of it was that, but also part of it was me like also doubling back and being like, okay, let me make sure I have every single thing. Like, I went back for every coin, every plant, every blood. That's what's crazy to me.
Bladder. I did all. Yeah, I left no stone unturned. I got every resource, every green plant, all that, and I clocked in at 11 and a half. So I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'll forever be a mystery.
And I did it all in first person.
As Leon too?
Not as Leon, no.
Oh,
I left
okay.
Leon as third person.
Oh. Third person's better. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.
Adios.